Do you hear that? That is the sound of motherfucking victory. Cheers. I am the crypto bull god. This is all in the charts. I need you to hit the thumbs up button. I need you to drop me a comment. I need you to click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. Do you see me right now? I'm calm. I'm cool. I am collective. But inside, I feel ferocious. No, I'm feeling pretty fucking good. And everybody here should be feeling pretty damn good. I want to thank every single person who showed up to that live stream yesterday, guys. We spoke about a lot of historical significance going on. We're not going to regurgitate that. You can go back to the live stream from yesterday. Guys, we have finally gotten above $50,000. Now, I will explain why in today's video. $52,000 is really that critical area that when we can start to see candle bodies close above 52, that is when you know it's game on and we're going to be seeing 60 plus. So thank you for everyone new tuning in. We're going to be taking a look at a bunch of different altcoins today. Keep in mind, today is Monday. Tuesday and Thursday, I do TA Today is not TA but I'm going to be running through a bunch of different charts for today. Guys, we saw an explosive move up in the market today. Look at the daily candlestick so far. We pushed up here. We have a high today on, this is Bitstamp, a high of $50,300. Now, why am I saying that $52,000 is, and keep an eye on this 3-day RSI. We're going to be keeping an eye on this. Why is $52,000 the main area that I'm watching? Because in terms of price confluence on the higher levels, this is the 2-week. And where is 52? Must have been the weekly. In terms of price confluence on the higher indicator, on the higher time frames, once we clear this red line of resistance right here, this line right here, there is not another major area of resistance until all the way up here towards $60,000. So we're going to put this at 60. So what I'm saying to you is when you see candle bodies closing above $52,000, okay, $60,000 is on the cards. And if $60,000 is in the cards, a ring-a-ding-ding, we are 15% away from all-time highs. Now, guys, if you've been here for a while, let me just tell you. Let's just recap the past couple years. We went like this. And this shit was salty. Coming out here in the live streaming was a bitch. Okay? It was a bitch. But you guys stuck with me. You guys stuck with me. And I really, in all sincerity, want to thank you. And you need to give yourself a round of applause for sticking with things. Because ever since that downturn, when we were down here and things seemed like they just could not stop going down, and I tried to keep you in the game and said, be unemotional. Let's be diligent with our investments and not listen to the clickbait fear porn. Look at what has happened in this market. And so far, I do want to point this out. At some point, what I have depicted here is not going to, it's going to fall apart to some degree. I gave, again, back in September, I should tweet this out. I couldn't find the tweet. Back in September, I put this out here for my general consensus in terms of price direction. Guys, we're literally following this. So far, you could call me a magician. I'll take the props now because I know at some point this is going to fall apart. No one can predict the exact path for Bitcoin. But right now, what I sketched out here in September, we are literally almost following this to a T. So, again, It'll be very interesting to see when price diverges from this, but so far on a weekly time frame, we're right in line with relative expectations. Okay. Now, if we close the month of February above 52,000 or even 50,000, we will have exceeded my expectations. I thought we would, close the month under 48, but with us accelerating in price right now, to me, there is a very high probability we're going to close the month of February above 52. If we close the month of February above 52, it is really strongly leaning us in the camp of a blow-off top much, much earlier than most people think. Did you guys see this tweet earlier today? Now, I am subscribed to TechDev52's newsletter, so none of this information is new to me. He puts out great content if you want another technical analyst that's out there. Breaking the break for a quick update. May seem confused by this BTC move. Guys, if you've been listening to the most popular influencers, I'm not even going to call them educators, the most popular influencers in this space, they're what you call the herd. Most of the people that are the most popular on YouTube and in Twitter or X, they all have a similar viewpoint. They've all sort of gravitated together, right? It's been a very select few individuals who have challenged that thought process and thought to unbiasedly look at the charts and consider a whole host of data in formulating a conclusion in terms of probabilities of what could happen, right? TechDev is one of those guys. So what he is sharing here, let's kind of summarize what he's sharing. And I would agree with him. So far, the impulse is quite similar to the last, meaning the 2020 to 2021. But running flats have been replaced by expanded flats. Still an impulse, likely headed to new highs. So the type of correction, all he's saying is the type of correction, okay? So this is an expanded flat here, what we're seeing right here, okay, depicted here. This is a running flat, okay? But if you look at these moves pound for pound, they're looking very similar right now. This here is looking very similar to 2020 and 21. If it does play out very similarly, you can see what he has depicted here. You can see that he has a blow-off top going into the summer, June, July. Is that not my primary hypothesis? Again, this could be proven wrong, guys. I think we need to be less concerned with when we top. Whether it's, I've said this before, whether it's July-ish, June-ish, whether it's December-ish, the key thing is to understand when you feel convicted that the market is topping. I will be getting a video out on the handful of indicators I will be looking at. But guys, momentum is picking up in this market. The time is now to be paying attention to this. You can see the relative strength index on the monthly is picking up towards 70. Things are just picking up hardcore here. No new updates on CAS. We're consolidating. I'm waiting for a monumental breakup towards 30 cents plus on CASPA. Yes, 30 cents plus. If this move in CASPA is what I think it is, then this month we're going to be hitting at least 30 cents. Okay, we're sitting right now at we're going to double in value at least this month. You heard it here first. Clore AI, right before this big move came in, I've been telling you about this accumulation in Clore AI. I would suggest checking out ticker symbol CLORE. If you like the narrative with render, you're going to love this project. It's a very small market cap. I've been talking about the accumulation. How much did I increase my position yesterday? Right before this big move at 14 cents, I increased my position by roughly 50%. So I captured this whole move here, which was nice, but this thing's going to be headed much higher. My initial target on Clore, once this thing tops out, for another correction and pullback, I have anywhere between roughly $1 to $1.60. Okay, that is, and again, I'm not telling. This is just based on how I've examined the market from $1 to $1.60. So you're talking about roughly a 5x to 9x from here, in my opinion, in relatively short order. Guys, we just took a look at this yesterday. This is the total cryptocurrency market cap. We're breaking above the $1.8 trillion area. This was a key area that I've spoken about. If we can get a weekly close above here, it's all about making these stair steps up, right? And the stair steps, by the way, at some point, these stair steps aren't going to be so gradual. We're going to enter a true parabola. There's going to be a moment where it's going to be pretty obvious that we're entering a true parabola and blow off top, okay? You're going to be seeing Bitcoin talk everywhere. In fact, I have not been paying attention to the news today, but I certainly was trolling my family earlier today, sending photos of Bitcoin hitting $50,000. Because my mom, as you'll recall, if we come back here real quick, I'm using my mom as a gauge for a sentiment on the retail investor. Okay? Sorry, Mom, it's the truth. She said to me, now if you come back here, this was June 24th of 2023, last year. I was joking about something with my mom the other day, and she said something very interesting. I'm not interested in Bitcoin until it's $50,000. Do you see the human psychology here? My mom does not know anything about Bitcoin or crypto beyond what I share with her. Okay? My parents own an itty-bitty little bit of crypto because I encourage them to get a little itty-bitty into it. Okay? She doesn't know anything about it. But the psychological level of $50,000 does something to her psychologically, okay? She is a true gauge on the emotional retail investor. Guys, now that Bitcoin has hit $50,000, and as it continues to sustain itself above $50,000, things are going to pick up very quickly. You're going to see things in the headlines. You're going to see things in news articles. You're going to see some FOMO begin to build into this market. Now, as that FOMO builds, now I depicted this. Let's take a look at this. This is Bitcoin dominance. Very important to understand in terms of if you want your altcoins to do well. Guys, thumbs up. I'm not seeing a lot of engagement. Would appreciate it. As FOMO picks up and retail sentiment in the market picks up, new money comes into the market, and money flees from Bitcoin into the altcoins because there's a higher level of conviction to be more risk on. Well, if Bitcoin is running, Bitcoin's a dinosaur. I want to get in something that's going to pull a 10x. This looks cheap. It's 5 cents. It's going to go to $1. Okay? All these irrational emotions begin to pick up within the market. This is what leads to an alt season. I think you are going to see 2 big altcoin runs this year. And I think we are on the precipice of our first one. I told you guys, and I stand behind this, I believe we are going to see our true first big altcoin run once Bitcoin got above $50,000. We're above $50,000. So I think it's just a matter of really short time, okay? We'll see a correction come in, and the really big altcoin season run will be when Bitcoin blows past $69,000. When you see Bitcoin up in that $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 area, altcoins are going to be going fucking ballistic, okay? But this in generalities is what I was pointing to here. Once we fell out of this channel on Bitcoin dominance on the weekly and we re-entered the channel, I said, I think as Bitcoin starts to have a push up towards that $50,000 area, we could see one final last gasp on the Bitcoin dominance. Maybe we go up to 55, 56, 58, and we're going to roll over. What did I also say on the RSI? Let's take a look at the relative strength index. I said if you look at the relative strength index, I have it depicted here. I did not change this at all, okay? This was an area of ascending support. Once we broke below it, price indicators act very similar to price action on the candlesticks, okay? So because we broke this downward area of support right here, okay, because we broke it, I hypothesized that as we started to see a push up in dominance, we wouldn't be able to sustain ourselves in relative strength index above this area, and we would roll over. We'd hit somewhere in here and roll over. We're starting to go up in relative strength index here, but I don't see us clearing this and staying up here, okay? I also pointed out weeks and weeks, months ago, this historically is our topping zone. We had a double topping zone here. This should have been an indicator to you to remain patient with your altcoins and just to sit tight and not make any irrational moves, okay? So we'll be keeping a very close eye on this. Now, what's going on with Ethereum? Yesterday I said I would be shocked if Ethereum was not up towards $2,800 this week. You can see we're getting a strong move in Ethereum right now. Ethereum is up 5%. Bitcoin is up 3 1/3. Okay, so Ethereum at the moment is outperforming Bitcoin. A lot of chatter that Ethereum is dead. It's an old coin. It's boring. Momentum is picking up in Ethereum. We've looked at that ETH BTC relativity chart plenty of times. We don't need to pull it up right now. Okay, I said my opinion, okay, which has not changed, is Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin this year, and it's going to make some really strong moves in the market sooner rather than later, and that's going to lead to your ERC20 tokens. It's going to lead to Ethereum Classic. It's going to lead to strength in general coming into the altcoin market. It's going to give people conviction that it can really be a risk-on environment and to go heavy into altcoins. Let's take a look at Solana. Let's take a look at some of these big crypto projects we haven't looked at in a while. And I'll get to your comments in a moment here. If we look at Solana, okay, this is on the monthly. I mean, this looks tremendously strong. Okay, so we're just looking at the stochastic RSI and MACD down here. It looks like I don't have the RSI itself up. What I really like to see here, look at the last time we got this stochastic RSI cross above the 20. We had a huge rise in price. We're starting to get that rise. And again, I'm not here fundamentally to tell you where you should be invested in this market. There's a narrative here, and there's an extremely strong chart. And I've been saying that for a couple years now. Okay, nothing has changed. Solana to me has great potential to push up towards $1,000, whether it's $700, $800, $900 or $1,000, right up in that general vicinity. Okay, and right now, with the strength that I'm seeing in this chart, would not be surprised within the handful of weeks to see this thing pushing up towards $200. Yes, $200 in the coming weeks. Let's take a look at XRP. There's a lot of saltiness in the XRP community because XRP is just kind of doing its own thing. Guys, the thing with XRP that I've tried to come out here and share, and people get so tribal and so, I don't know, they get so salty when they hear factual information. Like, I don't come out here and give you my opinions on the charts. I read what's here. I've told you for years at this point, literally years at this point, that XRP has been an underperformer. It doesn't matter what your fundamental narrative is on Ripple or XRP, the project. It's been an underperformer. I expect that trend to continue until the chart turns around. Okay, I've said, for me, primary highest level I see this thing going is $5. I don't see it going over $5 this year when we have our blow off top. I don't know if it's going to hit $20 or $30 5 or 10 years from now. I don't know. I'm here to talk about this blow off top. I would be shocked if it got up to $7. It's a possibility. But really that $3 to $5 area is where I see it going. And I stick by that. So you do have to remain patient in this investment because even though it has been an underperformer, it's still coiled up for a big move. Even if we did get all the way up to $5, that's essentially a 9x from where we're at. That's still a tremendous rate of return, okay? If we pull a 9x from current levels in XRP, it's going to outperform Bitcoin. It's going to outperform Ethereum from current price levels, okay? But remain patient. We're coiled up inside of here. Nothing has changed. This is a 2-week chart. There's definitely some weakness in here. But look at where we're at. The stochastic RSI is starting to cross up. MACD looks like it wants to flatten. We're at the bottom of this upwards trend area. If you are a believer in this project, and a believer in the technicals on this, this is the area to be buying right now. You don't want to wait until we're starting to push up towards 60 to 70 cents. We're sitting right at 50 cents right now. So XRP kind of, I've been here long enough. XRP and XLM kind of do their own things. When we get into the massive, euphoria that hits this market, you're going to see Bitcoin up, 3% or down 3%, and XRP's up 40%. And the next day, XLM is up 40%. They kind of do their own thing. It's a great hedge and diversification to own, in my opinion, both projects, both Bitcoin and XRP. Yes, I'm not tribal. I'm not a maximalist. I think there are positive diversification impacts by owning both. This is Cardano. For everybody here that is into Cardano, I am not. But in terms of the chart, it's turned around and it's starting to look pretty beautiful to me. If we look at the weekly, RSI looks good. Stochastic RSI needs to pick up. I want to see the 18 cross above 20 and get above 21 ultimately for a positive cross here, which it looks like it's starting to. Once you see price push up past 60 cents, I think that's when we're really going to start to see some action come into Cardano. We're sitting here at 56 cents. When you see with volume and conviction Cardano get above 60 cents, I think that's when 76 cents and some of these higher price levels that I've kind of spoken to in the past, 96 cents, upwards of $1 are going to come into play. But things are looking good here. Let's take a look at Matic, and then I'm going to drop to the comments and see who is in the live stream because I've neglected to take a look here. Matic is looking good as well. We're going through some massive consolidation here, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have two higher lows. We're waiting for the higher high to come in here. This is on the weekly. Really, for Matic, we need to get push above this psychological level of $1. I have it at $1.05, but really there's a psychological level at $1. Once we get above the psychological level of $1, that's when things are going to really start running towards $1.30, $1.56, and $1.74 and above. We need to convincingly get above $1. And again, once momentum turns into these altcoins, you're going to see these things heat up and heat up quickly. Let me see who I have. Dennis, what do you think about the CBBI index? Is that like a banking index? I don't know it by heart, my friend. I'd have to look it up and chart it. Steady, good to see you in the live stream, my friend. I haven't seen you in a bit. I thought it was Chlor Raghorn, but I forget. Or Jasmine. John, welcome in. Raghorn, if you have a big chunk to move from your 401k into a Bitcoin IRA at Swan, I don't know Swan, would you be holding out for a retrace to maybe 38.5 or 42.5 where it seemed there was support? Well, I think the perspective I would take if I was looking to take a portion of my retirement and stick it into Bitcoin. This is not financial advice. This is just the perspective I would take. It's your retirement. So you're holding on to it for a long period of time. Do I think we're going to pull back from current levels to 48 to 38.5 or 42.5? I think it's a possibility, but I don't more than likely see that happening. I would take a portion and buy now, and then I would hold the other aside to wait for a pullback at sensible levels. But the thing you have to understand is that's a long-term buy. It doesn't matter if you purchase at 50, 45, or 40. Does it? Should it really matter? If you're purchasing this for the long term for your retirement, it shouldn't matter though, my friend. What's up, Track? Good to see you. Good to see you, Frankie. That's cool. I've never heard of that, Rory, but I'm glad you got in. Yeah, man, Frankie, charts went out, man. Charts went out. There are some weaker performers I'm not going to name that, I see a lot of narratives being spewed about these tokens, but their charts are abysmal. Again, the name of this live stream is all in the charts. And again, as I said yesterday, if you can find a project like this, which is very difficult to find, if you can find a chart like this, that technically and also is outperforming Bitcoin consistently like CAS, okay, but is also a fundamental gem, okay? If you can find a fundamental gem and a technical gem all wrapped up into one, that's the diamond. That's the ace in the hole. That is the one that you want to hold on to. It's why I own so much Caspa. I own a lot of Caspa, okay? But technicals alone, even though I do like the fundamentals for this project, the technicals alone on this, you look at this and you say, this thing just looks beautiful. Why would you? It's a proof of work project. There's no ICO. It was fair launched. We have clear consolidation similar to down here. We're going to see a massive move up more than likely. Why would you not even want to put in a small trade position here, even if you don't want to put a lot in? So to your point. Yes, black oil. Mom is a buyer now. Did text and the hold on. Let me see what was said here. Sometimes I question. I'm not going to say anything. Yep, my mom said, "Yay, I'm buying." So she's buying. I think my dad in his old age is, I don't know. Raghorn, 2 cheers for moms everywhere, even if they don't understand crypto. Cheers to that. I don't like Solana. That thing is always... Okay, again, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you the chart. I don't own any Solana, full disclosure. I don't own any, but it has a beautiful chart. No, I don't own any XDC at the moment. Oof. Let's fucking go. Rashid, good to see you in here. Always, my friend. Good evening. Let's fucking go. Mama go. Raghorn, you're 92. Nah, you're 29. I think you're dyslexic. My mom says I'm going to go broke with crypto. Yeah, my mom told me to buy a new car when I was like 23 after I had already bought a new car. Moms are always telling you and thinking they know what's best for you. And you have to have one ear that listens and the other that's an adult and makes your own decisions in life. Else you're going to be a slave to what other people tell you, in my opinion. M786WP, I have not seen you in a while. Good to see a comment from you. Just about midnight here in Cape Town, and I'm awake to catch you live after a while. Thank you for all the content and education. Been making mega gains. So glad to hear that. Guys, there is nothing that makes me more ecstatic than to know that the content that I put out there is helping you. That's the whole point. The whole point for this content is to be educational in nature. I don't want to just tell you something that you want to hear and tell you what's going on in the market. I really want you to learn something. I really want you to learn something and walk away on a weekly basis, picking something up from the live stream that you didn't know before. Where the hell is the chart I'm trying to get at? Clearly, I haven't charted Doge in a while. I was trying to pull up Doge here. Wanted to take a look at Doge real quick. Where are we at? Well, this is on the Poloniex exchange because Bittrex exists no more. But you can see this is on a monthly. I mean, once Doge explodes here, MACD's picking up stochastic RSI. RSI is still oversold. I own a decent amount of Doge. When this thing picks up, it's going to pick up. I also own Bonk as well. Because again, once it is true meme coin season and those things run, I told you, I think Bonk could hit a $30 billion market cap. So I'm positioned accordingly. Injective's looking very good, my friend. No major updates. Anything else that I really wanted to share with you? Yeah, it's at 36. Anything else I wanted to share with you? Alethea looks like it's heating up. Finally, I've been sitting on that thing for a while. Anything else? Anything else? Now, again, I'm going to be taking your TA questions tomorrow. Real quick, before we sign out here, I wanted to take a look at the altcoin market cap with you. There was something specifically I wanted to look at with you now that I'm thinking about it. Total 2 is looking good. Total 2 is looking very good. I don't know what happened to my chart here. We're about to hit up against a key area of resistance here. Check this out. This is on the weekly. There's a zone of resistance. Reds for resistance, greens for support. There's a huge zone of resistance right along there. And we're just tapping up against it. that psychological area of $1 trillion is going to be key once we can get above there. But I think it was total 3. I wanted to look at with you on the Gaussian channel because it hadn't flipped green yet. I wanted to see if it flipped. Oh no, it flipped green. Oh, it was flipped green a few weeks ago. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, so total 3 is looking good. Was it total 2 then? One of them I thought did not flip green on the Gaussian channel. No, they're all green. So, I mean, guys, this is the time period I've been preaching about. And I think it also highlights the increased importance for my success and for your success for me to get a video out there to talk about what you should be looking for to tell you that the market is likely topping. Of course, one of the things, and I don't know if I'm going to get this CBG podcast out today. Be on the lookout if I do go live later today. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time. One of the things I did want to talk about in the CBG podcast and I wanted to dedicate time to, thank you 786WP, was interest rates. And one of the things you have to remember with interest rates, and I want to take another historical look at it, if we do something similar to what we experienced, I believe it was from 20 to 21, more than likely, and we're under very similar monetary circumstances, is once the Federal Reserve signals a decrease in interest rates, okay, which more than likely won't happen in March, but you never know, could happen in May, that's the warning shot fired. It doesn't mean necessarily that the market has topped, but it does mean forward-looking that the market will top very soon, okay? And that's sort of a warning shot fired to say probably good to be getting out of the markets at some point within the next handful of months, but I'll try to be a little bit more specific there. Yeah, we're in this zone right now. There's another, this is total 2, excuse me. So this is just stripping Bitcoin out of the market cap, looking even at Ethereum. But yeah, once we can really start pushing above like 940 billion, that's when things are going to really start to get, well, really even $1 trillion. We start to push up here, okay, and then break this zone here and push up in here. This is the wide gap. Once we get above $1 trillion, that's when we're going to be entertaining newer highs sooner rather than later. Last point I want to make, last point before we sign off here. Very, very healthy and sustainable, okay? I'll use Bitcoin as an example. Very, very healthy and sustainable for price action right now to be making these gradual, you see how these have been gradual stair steps up, okay? Gradual stair steps up. It's going to get steeper and quicker. That's what it means to enter a parabola. The reason we wanted these nice gradual stair steps up is because it allows for price to be sustainable, okay? I've always used that example as a tree with tree branches, that when you fall, if you're creating price confluence on the way up gradually, when you fall, you have tree branches to hold on to, right? As we continue, as euphoria starts to enter this market, the stair steps are going to get a lot steeper and the corrections are going to get a lot more shallow. We're going to be entering a true parabola, okay? A true parabola. And when we get into that last phase of the true parabola, there's not as many stair steps. So when we fall, it's going to be large. Do not, and I'm going to constantly remind you guys, do not fall victim to the narrative that because there are now ETFs, that Bitcoin can't go from 90 or 120 or 130,000, wherever we top, okay? That it can't have a 75% correction. Then let's say Bitcoin tops at, let's just use what I have here. Let's say hypothetically that Bitcoin topped at 125,368, okay? Don't for 1 minute think that we can't come all the way back down to $32,000. You are kidding yourself if you don't believe that. Don't feed into that narrative. I will be out here telling you things during that time period that you're not going to want to hear, but you need to hear. But we're not there yet. We still have a little ways to go. But just keep in mind, as we continue entering north in price, things are going to get steeper and steeper, shallower corrections, and we're going to be entering a true parabola here. No more of these elongated stair-step actions up. That's not what's going to be happening in the months to follow. So If you appreciated the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and drop me a comment. I would appreciate the engagement and support. I will be back here tomorrow, I promise you that, for a live TA Q&A, taking your TA questions. So make sure you come back in the comments section, drop me your questions, anything you'd like me to chart, and we'll take a look at it tomorrow. So make sure you click that bell icon for all notifications. Also to see if I go live on the CBG podcast today or tomorrow. And until next time, everybody, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Cheers to $50,000. Take care, everybody.